Donald Trump's legal problems are seemingly never-ending. And in all the recent talk about the investigations in New York, all the latest developments in Georgia, we seem to forget the fact that he is also being sued in a lawsuit spearheaded by Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell for allegedly violating the 1871 Ku Klux Klan Act, him and Rudy Giuliani and Mo Brooks, for inciting, allegedly, the insurrection that took place on January 6th. And in that particular case, there have been some new developments that we need to talk about. And the latest development is that Donald Trump and his son Donald Trump Jr. have lawyered up. They have hired an attorney by the name of Jesse Banal, who has represented Donald Trump on multiple legal issues in the past. They have now hired Banal to come in and act as their attorney with this specific lawsuit. Now, of all the legal issues facing Donald Trump, unfortunately, this is the one that likely is not going to go anywhere. And there's a very good reason for that. And that is cause. Do you have cause? And I think yes. To a degree, it's pretty easy to say you have cause, but it's always easier to say these things than it is to prove it in court. And once you determine that you have cause to even file the lawsuit, which we may end up with this suit thrown out before anybody can even make a legal argument, you have to determine the intent. What was Donald Trump's intent at that rally the morning of January 6th? What was Trump Jr.'s intent? What was Mo Brooks' intent and Rudy Giuliani's intent? Because if you can't prove that they intended to incite that riot, your case is lost right there. And here's the thing, folks, we all understand, okay? This is not like we're trying to figure it out. We know what they did, and we know why they did it, and we know that they knew about the warnings of a possible riot, a possible insurrection, a possible violence taking place. That's why some of the people who showed up in D.C. were arrested on site before any of this even began. Certainly not enough, but a few of them were. They had been posting on social media about it for so long that the FBI was well aware of it, which means that the administration was aware of it. Reporters were aware of it. We did segments on it before it even happened. Everybody knew this was going to happen. So intent, yes, we all know it's there, but the question is, can you prove it? And I know it's disheartening and people get annoyed every time I talk about that, but it is so hard to prove that he intended to incite that riot or his kid intended to incite that riot. I still believe the lawsuit should move forward, even though, honestly, I do not believe that it is going to be successful. At this point, there has to be some kind of accountability. The man escaped being convicted in his impeachment trial, obviously, which we all knew would happen. So there has to be something, right? There has to be a little bit more. And most importantly, you have to continuously remind the public of the horrors of that day. And this trial is a good way to do that. If it actually makes it to trial, which again, honestly, at this point is a long shot. But we can hope. We can hope for the best. But even if we don't get that here, let's not forget that those other two investigations into Trump into both Georgia and New York, those are picking up steam. So eventually, somewhere, somehow, accountability is coming for Donald Trump.